It took me 11 years of trial and error to refine my remote work setup. Today, I'll walk you through the Work From Anywhere starter kit, the real essentials, the stuff you should get first, the systems to set up, and the things you might want to skip. All of the tools I rely on fall into 7 categories. Each category has 1 or 2 essentials. These are the things that genuinely make work from anywhere smoother. I'll walk you through the categories first, and then I'll share the full list at the end. And if you prefer something you can save or print, there's a checklist in the caption. I'll go category by category: internet, money, work tools, accommodation, gear, health, and how to make the whole thing sustainable. I'll also tell you what to skip so you don't waste your hard-earned money. Category 1. Internet and connectivity. Internet is number 1 for a reason. If your Wi-Fi is down when you need to get work done, nothing else matters. Here's how I plan for connectivity. Wi-Fi backup plan. You need to have a backup plan. My number 1 is a SIM you can use as a hotspot. Cafes can have hit or miss Wi-Fi too, and co-workings tend to be reliable, but they're not available everywhere. And you should always test your Wi-Fi speeds when you arrive. I usually use fast.com or speedtest.net. For video calls, I usually like to see at least 5 megabit per second Wi-Fi speeds. I don't have a ton of calls, and so I've found that sufficient for me, but if you heavily rely on calls, you might need faster speeds than that. eSIMs versus physical SIMs. Roamless is a great pay-as-you-go eSIM option that works across many destinations. But if I'm staying somewhere for longer, I'll sometimes look for a less expensive eSIM option dedicated to that destination. And in some places, physical SIMs are even less expensive. When I'm choosing an eSIM, I start by comparing options on eSIMDB.com. A fun mistake I made during my early days of being a digital nomad is I just relied on my Google SIM plan from the US. It was great, it worked in a bunch of countries, it was seamless, but I was paying a huge premium for the privilege. But because I spend most of my year abroad, they eventually shut off my international data, so at that point I had to find another solution. Phone compatibility. Make sure you know whether your phone accepts eSIMs, physical SIMs, or both. Notably, some newer iPhones only take eSIMs, which is great until you get somewhere where your eSIM won't activate when you arrive and the only other option is a physical SIM. VPN. I recommend using a VPN for privacy or access when needed. I use NordVPN when I want that extra layer of security, but for me, it's situational, not constant. Good connectivity reduces chaos, but money rules the rest. Category 2, banking and financial setup. Some money basics are going to save you. Using the wrong card abroad could cost you an extra 3 to 5%, and that's going to add up quick. My top pick is Charles Schwab's High Yield Investor checking account. You won't be charged ATM fees through Charles Schwab, and better yet, they'll reimburse ATM fees from the ATMs you withdraw money from. Fidelity has another great option. Withdraw local cash with one of these, and you'll save hundreds versus using another bank's ATM card or exchanging cash at the exchange desk. Credit cards. Which credit cards you carry is an extremely personal decision, but there's one non-negotiable if you plan to travel abroad: a credit card that doesn't charge foreign transaction fees. Beyond that, it depends on your priorities: travel insurance, lounge access, easy to redeem points. For me, the cards I carry are tailored to travel protections, premium benefits, and rewards, but the universal rule is still no foreign transaction fees. 3 of my current preferred cards are the Chase Sapphire Reserve, which is my go-to for the built-in travel protections, the Bank of America Alaska Airlines Atmos Summit Card, which offers 3 points per dollar spent on all foreign purchases, and number 3, the World of Hyatt credit card, which helps me earn hotel status with my preferred hotel chain. Dynamic currency conversion, DCC warning. When a payment terminal asks which currency you want to pay in, you should always choose the local currency. If you instead choose to pay in your home currency, you're going to pay a 3 to 5% markup. There are a few money tools that I use on a regular basis. Number 1 is Wise for money transfers. 2, Splitwise to split costs when I'm traveling with other people. 3, Travel Spend. This is what I use for my personal expense tracking while I'm traveling. And 4, YNAB. I connect the software to all of my banks and credit cards so I can easily spot any fraudulent transactions. With money and connectivity settled, your workday can flow. Category 3, work and productivity tools. Work is software plus systems. The software is boring, Google Suite and Slack, but your systems are what makes it sustainable. Time zones. TimeBuddy is a tiny miracle for scheduling across time zones. And if you have recurring calls, try to pick a call day each week. That's something I love to help reduce time zone whiplash and the number of days that I have very fixed commitments. Async communication. Communicate more than you think you need to. If you're sending a status update, include context, deadlines, and next steps. Don't just say, we need to talk. Say what you need and when. People appreciate clarity. Ergonomics. A laptop stand, a separate keyboard, and a mouse are all small and portable, and they'll save your neck and wrists. You'll thank me after a few months, and I've linked the ones I use in the description. Backups. I use Google Drive for everything, but I also travel with a portable hard drive so I can back things up if I don't have great internet connectivity. These tools are all about making work possible almost anywhere, and they don't take up a ton of space, but you still need a place to do your work. So let's talk about finding the right accommodation and why your booking choices should reflect your work needs. Category 4, accommodation and booking. For stays longer than a couple of nights, I recommend booking accommodation with a proper workspace. Airbnb is honestly still my go-to. There are plenty of different options. They usually offer more space than hotel rooms, and they're usually less expensive. For shorter stays, I'm more likely to book based on location. I want somewhere convenient to whatever I want to do, and I'm more willing to compromise on the rest. What to look for? I look for clean, comfortable, and at least a 4.5 out of 5 rating for Airbnbs or 4 out of 5 rating for hotels. For stays that are longer than a week, I want a desk or dedicated workspace, or maybe 2 if you're traveling with somebody else who works remotely. Decent Wi-Fi is also non-negotiable unless I'm prepared with a permanent backup. For stays that are a month or longer, I prioritize a kitchen, and I also like to have laundry in my unit. Booking timeline. For longer stays, I typically book 2 to 6 months in advance. I want to have the best options available to me when I'm deciding where I want to stay. If you already know where you want to be, the further out you can start looking at options, the more choices you're going to have. And that includes for flights too. Now that you've chosen your place, you need to settle on what you want to bring. Category 5, travel gear. Essentials versus waste. Keep it simple. The right gear is the gear you're actually going to use. Tech essentials. Of course, you're going to want your laptop. I actually travel with 2. I have a MacBook Pro, that's my work computer, and a MacBook Air, that's my personal computer. Luckily, the same charger works for both. Some other gear that I have to have with me includes a USB-C adapter, an international adapter, my laptop stand, Bluetooth keyboard and mouse, and my Bose over-ear noise-canceling headphones. What to skip or test first? This is a hot take, but in my opinion, portable monitors are great in theory. I tried one, but I never really used it. It was just dead weight in my bag, but my partner swears by his. This is something you probably want to test before you commit to taking it with you for multiple months. Ask yourself, what do I use at home, and will I actually set it up when I'm on the road? If the answer is no, don't buy it or don't bring it. Having the right gear helps keep your day efficient, but having the right health safety net will help keep you on the road long term. Category 6, health and insurance. Health isn't optional. For long-term nomads, I recommend using comprehensive global health insurance, not just travel insurance. I use Genki for full international coverage outside of the US and Canada. It's for my peace of mind. Prescriptions and care. Prescriptions are a pain if you're not in the same country every month. I recommend refilling prescriptions whenever you're in your home country and bring extra with you. Some countries sell more meds over the counter and some sell less, so plan for that and stock up when you can. Which brings us to the heart of making the digital nomad lifestyle sustainable. Category 7, systems and routines for sustainable work. Sustainability is the through line here. Working from anywhere long term isn't a series of hacks. It's a way of organizing your life so you don't burn out. Daily workflows and rest. Consider setting 3 priorities per day. Ensure you build some rest into your schedule. My common pattern is a bit of work in the morning, a break in the afternoon to explore or rest, and then some more hours working in the evening. But it depends on the place. Use the local time to your advantage if your work gives you the flexibility to do so. Travel rhythm. If you can, consolidate as many of your calls into the same day or days as possible. Avoid traveling or moving on those days. It will help reduce chaos so much, I can't even tell you. And through trial and error, find the travel pace that works for you. For me, that means typically 2 to 4 weeks per destination, with maybe 1 or 2 longer stays each year. I know many nomads who prefer to travel much slower, and also many who travel faster. Budget framing. Remember that your budget for accommodation is going to be one of your biggest monthly expenses. And this matters more than the cost of any piece of gear. The difference between spending $500 or $2,000 a month is going to change your life more than spending or not spending $100 on a gadget ever will. So now, onto the list of the 10 most important tools. This isn't a ranking, it's simply the order I'm walking you through these items. And together, these really help me make this lifestyle much more sustainable. Here's my full top 10 essentials list, all in one place. Final thoughts and what to skip. The basics matter far more than the extras. Start with the infrastructure: internet, banking, ergonomics, and routines. And skip the shiny extras until you know you'll actually use them. If you want a checklist of the top 10 essentials and the other tools and apps I mentioned, I put a download link in the description. And tell me in the comments, what's one thing you'd add to this digital nomad starter kit, or one thing you regret buying?